All right, so I wanted to tell this story because Michael started out the evening by talking about how one of the purposes of a night like this is to lift our spirits. And I know, having run two nonprofits now, that you often need that lifting of spirits. Running public work is hard, whether it's the nonprofit side, government side, even in the private side. When you are trying to make change in the world, it is hard. So hopefully this story will have the same impact on you that it has had on me, because I often remind myself of this, of why I'm trying to do the work that I'm doing. I'm a lawyer by training, and after I finished law school about 15 years ago, I went to practice law at a big Philadelphia law firm. Anyone ever practice big law? Good for you. All right. It is mind-numbing, soul-sucking work. I remember I would call my wife, my fiancée at the time, and I would tell her, I'm having these stomach pains. I must be getting an ulcer. And it turned out she has an uncle that's an allergist. I had just become lactose intolerant. But I really felt like it was the work that was doing it to me. But the one redeeming part of my day at this firm was they had a very generous policy towards pro bono work. I could do all the pro bono work I wanted to and count it towards my billable hours. Now, if I was serious about making partner, doing 30 or 40% of your time as pro bono, probably not a good idea. But for somebody who was just looking to spend a few years there, that helped me pass the time. So one of the topic matters that I really focused on was immigration. Now, I'm the son of two immigrants. I believe in the immigrant story here in America. I know what immigrants can do here. And so I represented several refugees and clients looking for asylum in the United States. And one of those clients was a woman from the Congo. Now, I will call her Francois for just naming here. That's not her real name. Now, Francois came to me as a client. She had already received asylum status in the United States. That's a good thing. But asylum doesn't give you all of the privileges of citizenship. It doesn't give you sort of full protection to be here for an indeterminate period of time. So she was looking for a green card, and my job was to help her get a green card. Now, Francois' story is pretty disturbing. She escaped from the Congo. She had been kidnapped as a sex slave by government soldiers. She had been raped innumerable times. She had contracted HIV from that, and she had passed it on to her daughter that came out of birth with the soldier that she was married to. Somehow, some way, she escaped, and she came to the United States. In representing her to get the green card, it was mostly a process of paperwork, a lot of paperwork, and filing it, meeting deadlines on time, having everything in the addendums, the attachments, so on and so forth. But this woman was suffering from a deep depression. There would be periods where I would try and communicate with her, and she would go through a total blackout. She couldn't remember facts. She wouldn't know where basic documents lay in her house. She was in a housekeeping job at a local hotel, and she had trouble making it to work. On many occasions, she was on the verge of being fired simply because she was in such a deep, dark hole, she didn't know how to get out of it. And meanwhile, her daughter has HIV. Unfortunately, it has not developed into AIDS, but she knows that she has the virus. She doesn't know what future this child has in the United States. But after several years of working with her, she finally gets her green card. And it's right before I left practicing with this firm. Now, that's 2007. Years go by. I spend some time in government. I go to run a nonprofit in Northwest Philadelphia. It's 2013. I haven't talked to Francois in years. I don't know where she is. She could be in Philadelphia. She could be in New York. She could be overseas. I don't know. I'm sitting there at my desk, and I get a call completely out of the blue. And the woman on the other line says, "Mr. Anuj." I said, "Yes." I said, "This is Francois." I said, "Francois? I don't know Francois." And the gerbil is running really fast in my head. She said, "Francois, remember you worked with me?" "Oh, Francois, how are you?" She called me that day because that morning she had become naturalized as a U.S. citizen. And she took the trouble to figure out where I was, find my phone number, and call me in my office and tell me that. But the story doesn't end there. A year ago, I'm at the market, I'm running to catch my train, and I hear somebody calling after me, "Mr. Anuj, Mr. Anuj." And I turn around, and I see this woman. I think I recognize her, but I'm not sure. So I sort of cautiously approach. "Yes, hi, how are you?" Pretending like I know her. And again, "It's Francois. Remember me? It's Francois." "Oh, of course, Francois. It's great to see you. How are you?" Not only had Francois become a U.S. citizen, her daughter, who she was unsure of what kind of future, if any, she would have, had just graduated from college. She had become a supervisor in a hotel in Center City. Her blackouts had ended, her depression was over, and that is why we do the work that we do.